Hello everyone, it is Friday night, 7:30. In fact, I think I may be a minute late, 7:31. My apologies. I hope everyone's had a great week. Whatever you might be doing, were you working? Were you at home? Were you on holidays? What were you up to this week? I'd love to hear. Here, I'm on the east coast of Australia, and I live in a little area called the Central Coast, which is about 90 minutes or so north of Sydney. It takes about 90 minutes to get from the airport to here, so roughly. And it's beautiful, and the climate is really great. But we've had a pretty hot. Oh, thanks, Ellen. We've had a pretty hot week. So Ellen is just complimenting me on my new glasses. Did everyone see? I got new glasses. Hooray! I can see again. Hello, everybody. Anyone do anything exciting this week? Hi, Louise in the UK. Nice to see you. Is it, it's morning over there, right? This Friday morning, I imagine. Hey. Nice to see everybody. Hi, Sunny. Yes, so my glasses, I got these ones specifically because I don't know if you can see, they've got sparkles on the side. Can you see the sparkly bits on the side? So I had to get them. I really had to. It was a toss-up between this pair and another pair, and I'm a little bit sad I didn't get the other pair, but if I got the other pair, I would have been sad I didn't get this pair because I like them both the same. So I had to pick. Oh, thank you. The other pair were like a light pink, and they're really, really pretty. Yeah, I'm still thinking about them, thinking how can I maybe get two pairs? But right now that's not on the agenda, not in the budget right now. So thank you very much. Yes, the sparkles are the thing, right? I do love my sparkles. That's it. Deadline not dealing. Oh, did I say something wrong there? Not sure. Oh, I see. You're correcting your comment. I see. Yes. Right. Got it. Yes. Tomorrow's a busy day for me too. Tomorrow I have my craft along event, and I'm hoping some of you will join me for that. It's a public event. It will be right here, same place, not same time, same place tomorrow at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Saturday, the 25th, which is tomorrow. So that's Sydney time for anyone who's wondering. So you'll need to convert that if you're overseas. But yeah, 2 p.m. So about 5.5 hours earlier than this tomorrow. I hope that makes sense. Hey, Glenda, nice to see you. All right. So I thought I would play with a couple of things. I'm going to play with something that's new to me tonight. And then I'm going to play with something celebration, because did you realize that celebration, which is the stuff in this little catalog here, we only have 4 days left. So if there was something in here, or even in the second offering of celebration stuff, if you wanted it, you'll need to be quick because you've only got 4 days left. Now, in the US, I know some things have already sold out over there. I'm not aware of anything selling out here, although I haven't checked the inventory today. Let me have a very, very quick look and confirm that there's nothing sold out in our celebration offering. Just a second while I do that, because I don't want to misinform you. So I'm just going into the status report to check. There is something not orderable, only one thing, but it's not celebration. It's the Granny Apple Green stamp pad. That's unavailable until next week. It should be coming in next week. So I can see there are some things that are low in stock. Quite a few things, actually. There's quite a few die sets that are low in stock, but nothing is listed apart from the Granny Apple Green ink pad. Everything else is available. And don't forget, I'm talking about the Australian market here. I know if you're in the US, you do have some other things that are not orderable over there, including some things from the celebration stuff. So check with your demonstrator if you're not sure and you need to know. Okay. All right. So let's head into getting some craft done. Hey, Joan. You checked? Yeah, nothing. Well, now we have a Granny Apple Green, of all things. That seems very odd. I guess while we're talking about ink pads, there is talk, lots and lots of rumors going around that we may be up for a color refresh. It's entirely possible. We've had a little bit of a sneaky look because we have some new paper that I've been showing off. In fact, it's right here. And it has a couple of old colours, like retired colours in the paper that's just been released, which indicates to me that there's some old colours are maybe coming back. And if that's this paper, okay, so the colours that are in here that have been around from years gone by are Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. Okay, that's very Pretty Peacock in that one. Beautiful colours, both of them. Really love both. But usually if it means old colours are coming back, something else that's current is probably going. But we don't know what yet. So we hope to have more information on that soon. But can I just tell you, this time of the year, every year I start talking about this, and it's really, really important. If you have colours that you love, don't wait to see if they're going to be retired. Get your re-inkers or refills for them now while they're still available. And they will be, those orders will be filled. It's your niece's birthday tomorrow. That's exciting. Oh, that's okay. You can watch the replay tomorrow. If you can't, if anyone can't watch Craft Along tomorrow but would like to see what we're making, we're doing vellum techniques. So I'm going to be making a card that uses a little bit, and we're going to talk some vellum basics to get you over. Some people are afraid of vellum, and I think that's sad because it's one of the most underutilized but amazing mediums to work with. It is absolutely fabulous. You can do so many things with it. I'm going to use a little bit of vellum on my card tonight, on my first card, but I put vellum on a lot of my cards. So it's very common to see me maybe put a layer of vellum behind a label or something like that, because it just has this beautiful effect of softening everything that you do, and it just gives you a lovely, lovely finished look. When are the old colours coming back? Well, we don't know for sure. We've not been told anything yet, Sunny, but we do know that there's 2 new colours in this paper that's going to be available. When I say new colours, they're old colours that are now going to be in this paper on the 1st of March. So demonstrators can get this paper right now, but customers will be able to get it on the 1st of March, and that's only next week, guys. So February's nearly over. So that means we are almost 1/6 of the way through the year. How's that for a... It feels like we just had Christmas, like literally. Wasn't that just the other day? But we're actually 1/6 of the way through the year, and after March we'll be 1/4 of the way through the year. So oh my goodness, 2023 is gone. Let's hope not. Hey, let's enjoy it and make the most of it. Hey Sol Vega, nice to see you. Oh, there you go, Margaret. That's good. So both Ellen and I are big fans of vellum. Announcement on the 1st, says Ellen. So we will be hearing something very, very soon. Margaret Griffith is saying that since watching me and you, Ellen, she uses a lot more vellum. That's great. That's exactly what we want, because vellum's amazing. Vellum is awesome. And so tomorrow, what I do with my craft alongs, I do a video, which is my craft along video, the event, once a month. And it's usually on a Saturday. It may not always be, but for now I'm making them on a Saturday because a lot of people seem to be able to make that day. And it's an afternoon time slot, which works really well for some of my overseas watchers as well. Yes, tomorrow, Donna, watch, and I'm going to give you some suggestions, okay, for exactly that. Okay, so yeah, vellum is one of those underutilized awesome things. If I, what I do with the craft alongs is I do the video publicly. We make a card together. It usually goes for around about an hour, so it's not long. If you ordered with me last month, you would have received in the last week a supply pack to make the card with me tomorrow, if you would like. Okay, you can just watch and then go back and make it later, which is what most people seem to do. But how it works is there is the public video, which is free for everyone. And then I also have available some other alternate videos. So these will be alternate techniques that you can use vellum. And I can tell you what they are. There's going to be, and tomorrow you'll get to see the cards. So there'll be a dry embossed card, vellum that has been put through an embossing folder, and I'll show you how to use that. The second one will be heat embossing, and as part of that there'll be another card, like card A and card B, because one is just mostly just embossing with a bit of color, and the second one is actually adding color, and I'm going to show a couple of different ways to add color. That's called the stained glass technique, but I've just called it embossing on vellum because you can just emboss it, heat embossing. The third one we're going to be doing is I'm actually doing a vellum card. So the card itself, the card base is made out of vellum. And I'm going to show you how to make that card good and sturdy. And so it looks like a bit of a wow card. And the fourth one will be blended alcohol technique on vellum. So 4 completely different techniques. I think you're really going to enjoy them. And there's actually 5 cards in those 4 techniques. So watch along for that. If you ordered last month, you're going to get all those videos for free. If you didn't order last month but you would like them, it'll be available to purchase after the video tomorrow. So that's how it works. Yes, well, brads work with vellum, but I'm not using any brads tomorrow. There are some sneaky ways to use it and to hide your adhesive. That's one option for you. Yeah, I love vellum, but I just think everyone should use it more because it's beautiful, right? Okay, so I'm going to switch over to the desk, and I've just realized I need to put my light on here. Give me a second while I do that. There we go. Now it's brighter. All right, let's switch over to the desk. Here we go. And I've got my big mess over here. So I'll just push that out of the way and hope that nothing falls off the desk. And then I've got my catalogues here. So tonight we're going to have a little look at some celebration stuff because, like I said, there's only 4 days left. And then I want to actually first up make a card with you with a new set. Well, it's new to me, okay? It's on page 18 and it's called Lighting the Way. And I'm actually going to use a little bit of vellum in this card tonight. So it's this set here that's got the fireflies. We don't really have fireflies here. I mean, we have glowworms. They're pretty fun, but not fireflies. That seems to me to be more of a North American kind of a thing. And I've seen them in movies and things like that, but we don't normally see them. But I think they're really cute. And when I saw this set, I really like it. In particular, I love this lantern, okay? And the lantern is part of the dies. So let me show you. This is the stamp set. It's got some nice little greetings. It's got a couple of really cute stamped, well, there's 3 little fireflies, a little tiny weeny one, and then 2 bigger ones. We've got some like leaves and greenery here, and we've got like a bit of grass. And these little circles here are actually meant to be light that you could have coming out from behind the fireflies. So super, super cute. So if you see here, they've actually stamped the light. They've also stamped the light behind the middle of the lantern. I don't know if you can see. Let's see if I can get this closer up. Can you see the light behind the lantern and then also behind the little fireflies? So they're a bit of fun. And I thought we'd have a play. Now let's have a look at the dies because the dies have extra things in them. For starters, it has the lantern. The lantern is fabulous. And the lantern doesn't have a matching stamp. This is like a standalone die that you can play around with some of the stamps and other bits and pieces with the lantern. If you like to go camping, if you're a camping family, I think this is a really cool lantern for anything camping related. You know, you could have it with an outdoors sort of set, such as, you know, Enjoy the Journey or The Greatest Journey. And you could also have it with Campology, you know, the tent and the trees, and you could have the lantern like in the foreground. That would look really cool as well. So there's actually quite a few uses for that, and I think you could do a lot of fun masculine things with it. So you like this set too, Denise? Yeah. Actually, Louise, of all the cards in the set that I'm doing tomorrow, like all those alternate videos, the vellum card is my favorite. That's my favorite one. I think it turned out really lovely, and I can't wait to show it to you. So so there we go. So if you want to see the cards, you'll see them first up tomorrow. They're all completed, but I have to put the finishing touches to all the I'm editing the videos at the moment, so that's what I'll be doing all morning tomorrow morning, so they're going to be ready later tomorrow. All right, so let's have a little play with this. I've cut a couple of bits of cardstock up and I wasn't sure what color to go with. I noticed in the book that they did a card here on Fresh Freesia, and this one's on Soft Seafoam, the really light green. And then they've coloured over that and added some greenery. But I thought I'd go with Sahara Sand, and let's just see how that goes. I have already cut a couple of things. I've cut a black lantern, and I also cut a gold lantern. Oh, look, it's the first thing I've lost of the night. Let me move some things out of the way because you know how it is. I'm going to be losing things all night long. We can always cut another one if I need to. But I did think I had it right here. Gosh, this is a bit early to be losing stuff already. And who was it last week that I told Susan that somebody said last week, Susan Campfield, that, oh, here it is, found it. Whenever she says found it, people have to take a drink. That's her little game that she plays on her channel. And somebody, yeah, everyone drink. That's right, Michelle, exactly. And somebody commented last week, it might have been you, Michelle, saying that if you were watching Susan's, you know, if it had been the case with Susan when I lost my embossing powder last week, that you'd be completely drunk by now because it took me so long to find it. Anyway, I've got 2 lanterns here, and I thought what I would do is we'd have some of the lantern can be gold and some of it can be black. So I'm just deciding which bits. So I'm going to, this is that rose gold and gold specialty paper that's in the annual catalogue. And one thing I've noticed about this paper is it really grabs, it's kind of an interesting texture and it grabs hold of things. So it doesn't, you actually have to really pull the pieces out because they don't just fall out like this one. Those little black pieces in the middle just fell out, but this one it doesn't. And it's kind of interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of surgery on this. I'd like these pieces here at the side, I'd like them to stay black. I'd like this piece here in the middle to stay black, but I'm thinking the top and the bottom would be nice to keep them gold. So I'm actually going to perform, like I said, a little bit of surgery here, and I am going to cut out the bits that I want to have gold. And you can always do this with your stamps. I mean, it's nice and easy because it actually, there's lines. I don't know if you can see, there's lines here to show you where to cut if you want to do this. So it's kind of cool. I don't know if that's why they did it, but it certainly makes it easy. So if I want this bit to be gold, I can put this right here over the top, and then I've got some black and some gold. Does that make sense what I'm doing? Now I was just looking at this piece. This would make a really nice vase, or you know, some sort of container to add plants or something to. So you could have it this way so that it's got the stand at the bottom and open at the top, or this is the way that you could have it for being at the bottom of the lantern. But I think that looks rather nice as a little, I have to use that to put some flowers or some leaves and things in. I like that. What do you guys think? Is that a good idea? Should we do that another time? Not doing it now, but that might be fun. All right, so I'm now going to cut this piece here. I'm going to cut along that line, which is kind of already partly cut. And then I'm going to come up here and I'm going to cut this bit off. And you notice there's a like a circle here to push out so that it almost looks like it's hanging. So I want to put this bit here and this bit here on. So now we have the you know, it's like it's a bronze top and bottom, and then the rest is black. I kind of like that. All right, so I'm going to grab some Tombow adhesive and we'll stick this on. This is kind of a bit of paper piecing doing this, which is always a technique I have loved. I love kind of chopping things up and putting them together to create something a little bit different. So I'm not looking at comments at the moment. It does look like an urn. That's what I was trying to say, an urn. That's the word I wanted. Yeah. Oh, hello, Jackie. Nice to see you. I'm seeing you in May, aren't I? How exciting. I'm very excited about that. I got my tickets yesterday, so I don't know if you've got yours yet, but that was a bit exciting. And you're bringing your new husband. How exciting. Can't wait to meet him. All right, so for anyone who hasn't met Jackie, Jackie's popped on. She's known as the Pampered Stamper. And she operates, am I saying this right, operates between Canada and the Netherlands, because she kind of has a foot in both camps. Have I said that right? I hope I have. All right, so this is going to end up over here. I'm deciding, I don't think I want to put it in the middle. I think I'd like it to one side, but we'll worry about that later. Now, something else I wanted to do, I've cut a circle of vellum. Okay, so this is the first thing I'd like to do with the vellum. And I'm going to put it behind here to create a light coming out from from my lantern. So what I'm going to do is I've got these are fantastic. I love them. These are the new mini, aren't they cute? Mini blending brushes. Who has one of these so far? So like this is the big boy. So this is our normal blending brush, the big one. And then this is a little baby one. How cute. Aren't they cute? There you go. Louise says she follows you too, Jackie. How exciting. Oh, I'm very excited to meet him. That sounds wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my mini one, and I'm going to get some, well, you could probably use any yellow, but I wanted particularly to use something bright. So I think I'll use daffodil, but if you wanted it to be darker, you could do this in crushed curry. Or if you wanted a little bit of an orangey tone, you could do it in mango melody. So you could pick a few different ones, but I'm going to pick up the color, the yellow, with my little baby cutesy blending brush here. They're called small blending brushes in the book. And then I'm just going to do a little circle here. I'm going to kind of turn it around, and we're going to add color to our vellum. I'm just trying to think. It's been 4 years since the last trip, Jackie, and it's so amazing that we're going to be able to travel again. Very exciting. All right, so now this little guy is going to go behind here, and he's going to look like we've got a glow coming out from behind our lantern, which I think looks really, really good. Yes, we like this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put glue dots at the top and the bottom. You could do Tombow if you wanted to, but I think glue dots are a little easier to manage. So I'm going to add one here at the top. And just one. Whoop, didn't want to stay. Give it a good old push with your thumb. That usually helps. And if it doesn't want to come off, you can help it with a take your pick tool, which, let me see if I got a take your pick tool handy. I do. The other thing you can do is, if you don't have a take your pick tool, this afternoon my son was rubbing my Crumpet. Crumpet is, for anyone who doesn't know, Crumpet is our little ginger pussycat, and he was getting a head massage with the brush tip tool on the take your pick tool, which means that I currently don't seem to have a take your pick tool on the desk because it's been used to groom a cat, which is not I have got one here, that's good, but it's not the one I was looking for. So it's not actually the correct use of a take your pick tool, but it's very effective. And if Crumpet even sees the brush tip of the take your pick tool anywhere in his vicinity, he is all over that thing because he loves it. Oh my goodness. Great to see you too, Jackie. Bring on Norway, and then yeah, that's a bit exciting. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put this here before I center it, and then push it onto those two glue dots. You can see here with this on the vellum, it's okay, even though we can see that glue dot coming through the vellum, that's all right, because you can't see it through this from this side, and that's all that really matters. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks, Jackie. Jackie was just saying glad to be on the Create With Us design team. We have a design team that each month puts together some great little projects. Each person contributes one, and then at the end of the month we have them available to use as incentives. We can sell them, we can do different things with them, and they're heaps of fun. I give mine as gifts to my team who've taken part in team challenges, and I also give them out to customers who've spent $60 or more in the previous month. So, oh, hello, Jenny. How are you? All right, so here we go. I'm going to be putting this on here. It's coming together. I'm liking this. I'm going to use my Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to use, this is as you can see, quite a large stamp, but I'm only using the top of it just here. And I'm going to do kind of one strong and then the second one. And then And if I wanted to, I could use the other one. You can see there's a couple of different branches or leaves, that kind of thing. But by doing every second one stamped off, you get like 2 different tones of leaf there. And then we've got our lanterns going to end up here on this side, which is kind of cute. But I also want to have some fireflies. So there's a couple of things we can do. First of all, I have used the dies, here they are, to cut this little guy here. I have cut vellum for their wings. If ever you've got winged creatures like bees, butterflies, fireflies, whatever, vellum is fantastic for their wings, okay? I know, right? So vellum is fantastic for that. Then this is actually the body. So this is the body and this is the wings. And so you can see I've cut out that black firefly's body, firefly. And then this little guy here is going to go behind here. So then he looks like he has, look how cute he is. Can you see him? He's got like little wings, little gossamer vellum wings that poke out from behind. Now, something else that I like to do before I put this on, let me just see if I have any. I'm just looking around to see if I have any Winker Stella, because that would look really nice over these vellum wings. I did take some Winker Stella with me to my workshop today, so I may not have any handy. I may have to wait until I finished unpacking my bag, because I haven't done that yet. But that's okay. I'm just going to look in one more place, and if I don't have it, then that's okay. I can always Winker Stella later. Oh, I have one here, but I don't know. I don't know if this one is a dry one. Let's find out. All right, so let's see. Oh, that's a good one. So I'm going to run over. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Can you see that one side now is sparkly? Can we see that? It's a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky to see on the camera, but I'm making it sparkly just on the wings. I'm not going to worry about doing it in the middle, because that's where my glue dot is going to go. But I'm going to add some little sparkles here. It's very satisfying adding sparkles to little wings. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a glue dot. Now, once again, you can do as we did before and push your glue dot on, or if you prefer, you can use the pokey tool on the end of your take your pick tool and position it. So I'm going to pop it right there in the middle of my vellum piece. And then I'm going to put my little firefly right there over the top, so his wings come out from behind. I hope you can see that. And they're all sparkly. It's very cute. All right, so then this little guy's going to go right about here somewhere. Isn't this a fun card? This is fun. All right, so he's going to look really good there, but I think we also might do a little bit of stamping just because we can. Apart from the leaves, we haven't done hardly any stamping yet. And I've got these little tiny weeny ones and the medium-sized one, which is super cute. So cute. Now, you can, if you want to, you've got these little circles, and you can add the circles behind them, or if you don't want to use the circles, you could use a sponge dauber and just circle a little bit of ink on. So that would work as well, but if you want to use the circles that are in the set, you certainly can. I'm going to use the tinsiest, winkiest little one. I think I'll need block A for him. Goodness me, look how little he is. Wow. Have I got a block A handy? I think I do. Yep, here we go. There's block A. And then I'm going to go up to the next size, but I think it's still going to be block A because he's also little. Or you could go up to the next size if you wanted to. So we could go up to this one, which is still smaller than the one that we've put together. But I'm going to do this in black, and I'll use Memento for that. These are just fun. I mean, I like a good fun card. So if this guy is here, I'm going to have, I want to make sure this is inked up really, really well. And then he's going to go right here. Now, if you wanted to get these very, very solid, you could use a Stamparatus to place these and stamp them as many times as you needed, but that's not bad. Okay, and then a little tinsy one. He's so cute. Deciding where, because I'm wanting to leave space at the top for a sentiment. So, all right. So we have these little, I'm going to take this little guy off the block and put this little, look how little it is. That's a little Firefly light. Super cute, guys. How cute is this? How is it hot down there? Is it, Susan? So I'm going to just a little bit of a little Firefly light there. I'm going to use the same one for this one. So I'm kind of just putting the light down in their bottom areas, if you can see that, because obviously that's where the light is. So now this one needs a bigger light. So let's decide, does he have a really big light or a medium-sized light? What do you guys think? Medium or large? I'm thinking maybe medium, but I'm not sure. You guys can let me know, because I'm thinking maybe the large might be good. Now, while I'm waiting for that decision, I'm going to put some dimensionals behind here. And I'm thinking, given I'm working with black, I'm actually going to use black dimensionals because I actually really like black dimensionals. And here's a little tip. When you're using dimensionals behind something, if you've got something that you've stuck on, like in this case, we've got this vellum piece that's stuck on with glue dots, put your dimensionals over the edge of that as well, because then that's like extra protection. That's going to make sure that that stays in place because we've held it down with the dimensionals. And that's like an extra layer of protection. Oh, everyone's saying medium. Okay, medium it is. So we're going to go to the medium one. I think the big one's a little bit big, and I don't think anyone picked that one. So there you go. Everyone's saying the same. All right, so I'm going to pop this just here. Now, what I could do is, we've got some of these little leaf dies. I could have a couple of leaf dies going over the top of the bottom here so it looks like it's in the grass. Do we want to do that? What do you think? I'm going to let you guys decide whether that's a good idea or whether I leave it like it is. Let's see. I'll put that on the A block as well. So I've got my little light here. So what I need to do is work out where this little Firefly is going to go. And I think I'd like him right about here. So that means I need to put his little light on, move him, and then we'll position him back over the light again, like that. Okay, I think that's right. All right, so I think we should put some dimensionals behind here as well. And I've got little mini black ones. I don't know if you know, but when you buy the black dimensionals, you get 2 sheets of the large size and 2 sheets of the minis. So they're actually good value, because I think they're $10 something, but you get 4 sheets, 2 minis and 2 normal size ones. There we go. Oh, he's cute. Look at that. It's coming together really nicely. All right. Why not? Yes, do that, says Michelle. Leave as is, says Judy. Yes, leave it as. Oh, well, the jury's out. I don't know if we can make a decision with so many conflicting. Who was first? Michelle. Michelle was first, and she said to do it. So guess what, guys? I'm going to do it. So for this, I'm thinking I've got some. I'm actually going to. Deciding, do I want to do, okay, I've got my Mossy Meadow. Mossy Meadow is one of my favorite greens. I hope they don't get rid of this one, because it's probably my most used green. Yes, I do like the new green, Soft Succulent and Evening Evergreen, but I really, really love Mossy Meadow because it's like a deeper, darker version of Old Olive, which I've also always loved. And if you add water to it, it goes really light and bright. It's really fun to play with watercolors. So it's a really good, and to me, I do use it as a neutral. If I know it appears in the neutrals, I definitely use it that way because I put it with everything. So I really hope they keep it. We were talking about that the other day, weren't we? What colours we would hate to lose. So I've got a couple of pieces of that, and then I'm thinking maybe will I do this one, or I might do this one because it's got a couple of larger leaves, and I think maybe that might be fun to play with. And I've realized I need to be careful because if I'm going to put this through my mini cut and emboss machine, I need to make sure that it's going to fit. So I'm going to have to cut this down. So, but that's okay because I don't need the whole leaf anyway. All right, so let me. We'll do one here. And then I'm going to do one lighter stamped off. So you get your different tones, which looks rather good. You did get first again. There you go. All right, so I'm going to chop this down. Give me a second. My trimmer. I'm really happy with how this card is coming together, by the way. I love it when I have an idea in my head, because this is actually the first time I've used this stamp set. I haven't used it before, but I just had this idea and thought, oh, what can I do with that? So, right, so this one here is going to cut out this. So I'm going to start with these larger leaves because they're different to the others. And we're going to bring in, of course, our little machine. Okay, so if you haven't seen this already, I think everyone's probably seen it by now, but this is our mini cut and emboss, and it is the boho blue mini cut and emboss, which is a very special color. It's only available, if you love this machine, it's only available for another 4 days, and you have to join Stampin' Up to get it. Okay, it is, yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. But yeah, it's a joining special. And the joining special that we have had this month, I think, is one of the best joining specials they've ever had. Really, really think it's fantastic. But I just need everyone to know that there is only one celebration this year, which already means we're probably having less joining specials this year than we have in other years. If you're waiting for a really great deal, I don't think you're going to get a better deal than this for a really long time. It's spend $169 and get $315 worth of products. I mean, that's a good deal. Then you get a discount on all new products after that point. Then, if you want one of these, if you spend $210, you still get the $315 worth of product. And you also get one of these. And these retail for $110 normally, so that's a great deal. You can get one in white, which is the normal color, or you can get this very special limited edition blue one. You can buy them for $110. Not the blue one. You can buy the white for $110. But if you're after a really, really, really good deal, I'd be jumping on the joining special. It is fantastic. If you need more information, you'll have to be quick because there's only 4 days left. And so if you've been thinking about it, reach out, okay? If you have a demonstrator, reach out to them, and I'm sure that they will help you out as much as they can. All right, so I'm going to start with just those 2 little bits, and let's see if that's enough. Oh, squeaky chair again. Goodness me, we need some WD-40 or something. All right, so let me bring this back in. And let's see. So if I wanted to, I could have this kind of going over here. I don't know. What do you think? And then we'll chop off the ends. Do we like it in the leaves, or do we like it just the way it is? Now that I've showed you how they work, I won't be offended if we say that we don't want to do it. I'll have one up higher and one down lower. What do you guys think? Do we like it with the leaves or without? Now, while you're deciding that, I'm actually going to get my blending brush. I'm going to get a green blending brush, and we're going to add a little bit of green to the very, very bottom of this, only light. So I'm going to go with Mossy Meadow, but I've actually got some green on this from earlier today. I had a scrapbooking workshop today, so I'm not going to add any extra. I just want a little bit to go over the edge because I think that looks nice. That looks better. That looks nice, actually. No leaves, no leaves, no leaves. Without. Yeah, I think so too. Even though I really like the idea. Oh, hey, Court. Really like it, but it does cover a little bit too much of the lantern. So I think we're going to, it was good to try it, but I think we'll leave it as it is. All right. What do we think? Are we liking this? All right. So because the Mossy Meadow is down the bottom, I think I'm going to have some balance by adding it to the top. Now I can put my label. There's some nice sentiments in the set. We've got thanks for lighting the way, which is nice. There's a follow your dreams and you are all kinds of wonderful. I like all of them, but I think I want a long, thin greeting for balancing at the top of the card here, and that's the one I think I'm going to go with. So let's grab that. I'm going to clean off this stamp. And we're going to put that little leaf back in the set. And we're going to grab the Thanks for Lighting the Way stamp, which is just here on the side. So did anyone not notice this stamp set? It's so easy when you've got so many things new in a catalogue. It's very easy to miss things. And I don't think I noticed this on my first run or two through the catalogue. I did, once I noticed it, I went, ooh, I really like that. And I was thinking it would be really fun to show how to use the vellum for wings. So anytime you want to use winged creatures, I strongly suggest grabbing your vellum and seeing what you can do with it. And if there's wings in dye, you know, wings in dyes just look fabulous. Let me just stamp this off first to make sure it's stamping beautifully. Okay, and let's pop this here. I'm going to go right here in the center. Now, if you make a mistake when you do stamping like that straight onto your card, given that you've done all this other beautiful work, you don't want to lose anything by, you know, making a mistake. If you do make a mistake, stamp it on a banner of some kind or a piece of paper and then stick it over the top. Okay, hide your misstamp if you need to. Thankfully, we didn't, but yeah, that's something you certainly could think about doing. Now, this gold that we've done with this lantern is actually a kind of a antique looking gold, I think. Would you agree? It's not like it's not a really shiny gold. It's shiny, but it's got like an antique kind of a texture to it. I don't know if you can see that up close. Can you see that? It's, yeah. Anyway, it's really nice. But I think with that in mind, I'm considering doing adding some brushed metallic dots that have a little bit of a an older look to them. So we also we could do the brush butterflies, but I don't know. I think we maybe have enough winged creatures already on this, so I'm thinking about leaving those. But I'm going through my embellishments and just looking to see if I have any brushed metallics. I was using them yesterday. Actually, I used them on one of my cards when I made the videos, and I'm just thinking, did I put them away? Because there's every chance that I did not. And if I did not, then they're not going to be here in my... We had these. These are very shiny gold, but these were the ones that came out with the frame floret set. Those have been retired, so they're not... I'm not going to use those. Ah, here we go. This is them. I did put them away. Look at that. Look at me go. Okay, so we have choices here. We could go with the bronze, which would actually tone in fairly well because it's got a greeny kind of a touch about it. But even though that would go with the green, I really want to bring out this kind of antique looking gold that's going to match my lantern. So I'm going to add one down here. And then I'm going to do one more up here. And then a little guy up here. I think that looks, what do we think? Do we like that? And then I'm going to put the whole thing on this piece of black. So I'm going to mat it with black. I'm going to attach it. You can use whatever glue you like for this stage. Also, if you wanted to, you could go to the extra step of sponging around. And if I was going to sponge with anything, I would probably go with Mossy Meadow. But I didn't do that because I've just put adhesive on it. So I'm just going to say not this time. But a bit of sponging around the edges does look nice. All right, and then we have a piece of basic white thick cardstock, and I'm going to fold that in half. So this is half a sheet of A4, so that makes it 21 centimeters by 14.8. If you are in the US and using US letter cardstock, then, or Canada, then you will want to do, I think it's 5.5 by 8.5. Am I correct? Yeah, I've got one. I've written 5.5 by 8.5. That's the US letter size. All right. So I try and keep a little template close by so I can remember, because for some reason I forget the measurements between metric and imperial all the time. When I do the craft alongs, I do a PDF document with both, usually both metric and inches, especially if it's standard size cards, so that everybody can follow along no matter where you are. All right, I'm actually pretty happy with this card. I think it turned out really nice. I hope you like it too. What do you think? Oh yes, the mossy meadow base would have been nice too. But because we have some black in here, we get away with the black. But yes, a mossy meadow base would have also looked really, really good. Oh, yes, we could. Okay, can you see that there's, I'm not going to do it now because I've already got my little embellishment here, but there's a little trail. That would look really nice coming out from behind the big firefly. So, okay, I'm going to call that a finished card. So we have card number 1 done. Look at us go. We're doing well. All right, and for the second one, I thought we would do something with celebration. And the reason that I thought that was because celebration ends in 4 days. I think I've said that about 3 times now. But I just don't want anyone to miss out, because it's been a fantastic promotion, not just the joining special, but all the other bits and pieces that we've been able to get as part of the celebration offering. Okay, so I've got a few of them right here, and I thought I'd wait and see what do people want. I was thinking about doing something with the Beautifully Happy set because I haven't done anything with that for a while. But I've got the carrots, I've got the In the Country set, I've got the adorable owls, and I also have the Scenic Garden. Now the Scenic Garden, this one is the host gift. So if you had an order go through for yourself and maybe some other people, then you would get that if your order was over $500. Or I've had it, believe it or not, I've actually had a couple of customers who have actually got everything they wanted out of the celebration and mini catalogs. So they did have orders of that size. And so they got the Scenic Garden set as a thank you gift. You want Beautiful Happy, Joan? Okay. All right. There you go. We can do that. Well, that's easy. All right. So let's get started. I'm just going to grab a piece of white. I'm going to say white for a good card base. Now, something that I had, I do really like the outline and then it colored in. I think it looks really lovely, and you can color it in either just with markers or with watercolor or whatever you choose, but you can also color it in with the stamps, because this stamp here fits right here. These leaves, so these 4 leaves down here, then we've got these little buds up the top, there they are. So you can actually fill in all the coloring with the other stamps. It's what they call a 2-step stamp. Sorry, I should say 2-step stamp set. So because I'm thinking of coloring this with the stamps and using it as a 2-step stamp set, I'm then going to possibly, I could just stamp it, or I could add a bit of water to it and make it look watercolored. And believe it or not, yes, you can watercolor on just plain white cardstock, but you have to be careful not to add too much water if you do that. If you want to add a little bit more water, then I would be suggesting something more sturdy. For example, shimmery white cardstock is a more sturdy cardstock to use if you want to add watercolor, or of course watercolor paper. So I'm going to throw this onto a block. Now, if you do want to use watercolors, then usually I would recommend that you use Stays On ink. The only thing is, this is a photopolymer stamp set, okay? So if you are going to use Stays On ink, my suggestion is that you actually clean it straight away, and preferably not with Stays On Cleaner, because Stays On Cleaner is very harsh and can, over time, if you're using enough of it, can damage your photopolymer stamps. So I tend not to use Stays On Cleaner on that. So if I'm going to use Stays On ink, I clean it straight away with just my mist, which won't hurt them at all. And also my Stampin' Scrub. Okay, you could also use a chamois, but you may find that it doesn't clean Stays On very well. So, but this won't do a bad job. Okay, so if I'm going to use this to do Stays On, I'm not going to use Stays On Cleaner on it. So the Stays On is harsh, but the Stays On Cleaner is harsher. All right, so let's make sure we get a good inking here. So this is Stays On ink, and I notice that I'm wondering if it's actually very inky, because it doesn't seem to be inking up as much as I would expect. So I may need to re-ink, and if that happens, we'll just turn this over. All right, so I'm going to grab a mat. Because this is a photopolymer stamp, it does not have any cushioning, none, because the stamp is flat to here. Whereas if you use rubber stamps, or what we call cling stamps, if you're using those, the good news is that those have foam between the image and the label, and that means that you have that cushioning available. You don't need to add a mat as well. So the mat I only reserve for when I'm working with photopolymer stamps, particularly larger photopolymer stamps. So you might notice I used photopolymer stamps before. Now this is not, okay, my Stays On is not inking up as well as I would like. Look, see, it didn't. So let's turn this over. I'm just wondering if I need to add more. I have more than one Stays On, and I may have picked up the dry one. But if I didn't, if they're both going to give me the same effect, we're going to do something different. No, this one's definitely better. I didn't think it looked very dark. And you should be able to see that that's better already. But photopolymer and Stays On aren't always friends. So it's just something to bear in mind. I usually don't use Stays On. I'm taking a bit of a risk by using it today. When you stamp straight down and give it a good, with Stays On I give it longer, but a good 3 to 5 seconds to transfer the ink well. Now let's see if it's worked better this time. Yeah, much better. So the other one is just a little bit dry. Okay, much better. So let me put this one out of the way so I don't use it until I re-ink it. Now, the other thing I want to do now is I want to clean this straight away. So I'm actually going to spray my mist straight onto my stamp to moisten it. And then I'm going to use my scrub to give it a really good clean. Now, it may not get it completely clean, but it will be certainly clean enough to stamp again. Oh, you've been having fun with this one, Chris. Okay, that didn't come up bad. It's come up pretty good. So if you clean it straight away, then the Stays On doesn't get a hold of the photopolymer quite so badly. All right, so let's get my lid on the Stays On. And I'll get a couple of stamps. Let's see what we have. So I've got these leaves. Okay, I really do like these leaves, and I'm going to go back to my good old friend Mossy Meadow. Now, for this part, it doesn't matter. I'm actually not going to ink this up especially well. I'm only going to hold it a short amount of time because I don't actually want to have a lot of ink on here. I just give it a bit of a tap. And even that is fairly dark, as you can see. I certainly don't want it any darker than that. Now I have this little guy. Let me see. Do I need to grab another? I do. Because I did this workshop today, I've got blocks and bits and pieces everywhere. All right, so this is block C, which is actually quite a good size. What color shall we make these flowers? I think maybe, I'm deciding maybe, let's try blackberry. Let's see how that goes. Sweet sorbet and evening evergreen. Oh, that is a nice combo. Very nice. Right. Now, don't forget, when you use the purples on your stamps, your photopolymer stamps, they do stain. It doesn't stop how they stamp, but it does mean that they are then stained forevermore. Now, I'm just trying to get this in the right place. Even if it's not perfect placement, it won't matter. Right, so you can see how that is coming together. You can just leave it like this. You don't actually have to, I mean, I want to add water, but you don't have to. And I'm thinking maybe some fresh freesia for the buds. Let's try those. You can see I've used them for purple before. So let's go. So this is quite a lot lighter, this purple. Right. And actually that probably should be green. So I'm going to take that off with my finger. And these I'm going to take off with my finger. I'm just going to do the buds. So I have left those bits undone. And what rather than try and get the colors off here and do these, I think in this case I've got a Mossy Meadow marker, and I'm just going to use that green over those little bits. And I'm not even going to fully color them. I'm only going to sort of add a bit of color. All right. Now, here's a tip. If ever you want to, you can actually use your, I'm not going to do it today, but you can use your Wink of Stella as a water painter. It gives you a different sparkly effect, of course, but you can do that, and that's quite a lot of fun. Let me see if I've got some water in some of these. I've got a whole bunch of pens here. Just a case of working out which ones have water. That one does. Because I don't always know what I'm doing before I start, I don't always have, see this one, nope, that one is no good. These are great, these brushes. These are part of the Water Painter 3-pack that you get, and they're really fun. They see, that's a thicker one. So we have 3 sizes in the pack. We have the thin, the medium, and the one I just showed you, which was the brush. The brush is great for doing backgrounds. They're really great if you want to add water to any of your projects. Absolutely fantastic. All right. Now the water does not want to come through this one. It's not playing nice. So I'm going to unscrew it. So this is how they unscrew, and you just fill them up at the tap. Very easy to use, but really convenient, so that you can put your water into your pens and take them with you. So you've got watercolors on the go. Very, very handy. The only thing I've noticed is you have to screw them the opposite way than what you think. Right, so this time I've got some water coming through, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, because it stays on, it's not going to run, and I'm just going to add a bit of water to this. And if I add the water in the middle, you'll see the color immediately pick up. Right, don't be too precious with it, just add the shading and the colors where you would like it. Now I'm going to start here at the outside and work my way back in. I want it to be darker in the middle. If you have a little bit of white patches, that's completely fine. Then I've got a little bit of blackberry now on my pen, so I'm going to go in and do a little bit of darker up here on these guys. Now I've got to get to the the green, and once again, I'm just going to spread some of the color. This is what I mean about Mossy Meadow goes, when you add water to it, it goes lighter and brighter. I mentioned this before, and I hope you can see how those three now are brighter than this one here that I haven't touched yet. Really, really love the color of this when you add water to it. All right, pretty happy with that. It's looking nice. It doesn't need to look perfectly neat. In fact, I think it looks better if it doesn't. If you want perfectly neat, then stick with blends or, you know, something you can control like watercolor pencils. But if you, as soon as you add water, you lose a bit of control. And that's okay. All right, so let me cut this. So I'm deciding how close I want to go to it. That go off the bottom, and then we're going to go quite close up here at the top. That's looking better. All right, now up to you whether you want to do something with the background. I'm thinking it would look really nice to add maybe either, you know, a light green, perhaps like even a pear pizzazz would look really nice. Sorry, I missed a question, Megan. I'm so sorry. Why did you stamp in Stays On first? Okay, you've got it now because we added water. But if you are going to use Stays On your photopolymer stamps, I do recommend that you clean it immediately and that you use something gentle like Stampin' Mist, okay? Because if you leave it, they'll stain them forever, which you might not mind. That might be okay. But, yeah, that's just kind of something that I always do with Stays On. All right, so let me grab, I'm just thinking, what have we got? We've got some, under here, I have some fresh freesia. That's what I have, and I just fell off my desk. That's okay. I can reach over and grab it. And so let's make this card front size. This is a beautiful stamp set, and anytime I see a two-step stamp set, you know it's lovely. You really do need to play around with two-step stamps. Something I have seen done, and it looks absolutely fantastic, that's the right size, is you can stamp these flowers without the lines at all. So just do, in fact, I have one, but it's just out of reach. Maybe I'll post it because I haven't posted it yet. But I just did the secondary stamp. So I just did the flowers, I just did the leaves, and I did the little buds, but I don't have any of the line work. And that looks really nice as well. It's actually really quite beautiful, to be honest. All right, so let me grab the, I was going to do the fragrant flowers, sorry, favored flowers paper, because I thought that would be really nice. But I'm actually wondering whether there's, I mean, we could do something with the beautiful dainty flowers, right? That would look nice. And it's soft because I want to make this a focal feature now. I don't really want, and I'm thinking, what will I do with the background? I want to do something with the background. So I'm thinking maybe pool party, but let's just have a play because I think this could work. All right, so I'm going to add this. I've got my little mini brush here, my small blending brush, and I'm going to put this on here, and I'm just going to add a little bit of color in behind here because it's going to look very pretty. It looks like the sky behind it. We just want to add a little bit here and there. And the other thing that's in this set is some really fun dots, and I'd like to play with those as well. So and just that little bit of color behind that is going to be really pretty. Ah, the Scenic Garden set. You'd like that, Donna? Well, maybe. I would like to play with something celebration before it goes, because, you know, there's not much time left, right? So let's grab this, and I'm thinking we'll just do a piece that's going to fit inside our fresh freezer. So I'm thinking maybe we'll put this on the right hand side, and then I might leave this side blank. But I'm actually deciding, I'm thinking I might, should we leave it like it is, or should I put a very small black mat around it? I could. So it's hard to choose sometimes what to do. Stamp in Versamark on the fresh freezer instead of DSP. I could do that too. Yeah, maybe. Well, before I do anything, I do want to add these little dots. Are one of my favorite stamps in this set. I really, really like them. And I'm thinking of going in with the fresh freezer. Let's just add a few of those, because they're not particularly striking. Like they're not in your face, so they'll just add a little bit of background. Without going over the top. Can you see that okay? Well, let's bring it down. And can you see now how the Mossy Meadow has gone really, really light? Can you see that? I love the color it goes when you add water. I was thinking, with your suggestion, I'm wondering whether we could do a little bit. There's a little bee there. Can you see him? He's so cute. Things seem to have a thing about winged creatures tonight. We could just do some flowers, like some solidy flowers over here on the right-hand side, possibly. But we don't really need to. Maybe I'll save that for another card. I don't know. We'll see. Let's pop that right there. So black mat, yes. Okay, we're doing a black mat, guys. And I've got a piece of black left over here that, oh, that's nearly the right size. Look at that. Not quite, but very close. So I'm actually going to glue it down, and then we'll cut off the excess. That was my failed stays on attempt at the beginning, because my stays on wasn't inked up well enough. We just want a small black mat, not a very big black mat. The Blackberry Bliss looks really nice with the freezer. It's not the combo I have really tried until we had this Favoured Flowers paper. I really like it. How are we doing? All right. What do you think? Is this coming together nice? Do we like this? And I feel that we're going to need a little a greeting. We've got a few to pick from. We've got for a very happy birthday, sending happy thoughts, feeling better kind of day, which is good for get well. Kindness matters. And then we have the thank you, and then you are easy to love. Does anyone have a, oh, you could splash. Yes, you could. Well, the Blackberry Bliss would have looked good too. But I think because we've stamped our design, our stamp in the black, I think that pulls that black in because of the matte. So has anyone got any, just a reminder? Oh, thank you. Yes, thumbs up is awesome. Thank you. Oh, you like the colors? Yeah, it's simple, but it works really well, I think. All right, so I have here somewhere, let me just see. We have some leftover white that we used earlier. And this is going to have to go on dimensionals, of course. And, oh, I think we'll need some fresh freesia ribbon. What do you think? Because this ribbon is gorgeous. We've had it for 2 years now. And I think that we know it won't be stained because these colours, fresh freesia, is one of the colours that is meant to retire this year. So this ribbon I expect to go as well. Plus, we've had it for 2 years, so it's probably time for it to go. But see how pretty that is with that? Isn't that nice? Look at that. That's very pretty. All right. Okay, what was the suggestions? I'm coming back. Chris said, feel better kind of day. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. And I always like to stamp my greetings in a darker colour. So I'm going to go with the blackberry because I just think it's nice for your sentiments to stand out. So let's pop that. And we're going for a feeling better kind of day. I don't think I've used that one. I think that might be one I haven't played with yet. Huh. Where have I put it? Here it is. It's on a separate piece. Yeah, it's brand new. I haven't used this one. That's the thing with these sets. Some of them have got so many beautiful greetings in them that you don't even get time to use them all. Well, I don't before they disappear. All right. So for a feeling better kind of day, it's going to go right here. Now we could put this on a circle, but I'm tempted to use a banner because I love my stylish shape dies. And for anyone who doesn't have the stylish shape dies, they are the best. So good. And this one's going to be too long. That's going to be too big. Let me just see if I've got a shorter one. I know I do. So these are the stylish shapes, and these are the ones, if everybody who asks me which dies should I get first, this is my answer. Stylish shapes. There are others that are also awesome, like the scallop contours, the stitch rectangles, but the stylish shapes are great when you're getting started because you have a variety of shapes. So you have 5 squares, 6 circles, and 4 banners, and you can see my banners are all over the place. This is the one I want. So there's a big banner, that one there, which is too big, a little banner, which is too small, this size, which is going to be just right. I feel like Goldilocks, and this one. So really, really nice. Love how useful they are. We used to have another set called Stitch Shapes, which had ovals, circles, and squares, but it didn't have as many. And the ovals I found I used the least. So I was really happy when they gave us banners because the banners are very, very useful. Okay, so this is going to go through here. Look at that, perfect size. So let's grab our cut and emboss machine. Bring it in, and then I know I'm a little bit over time tonight, so I hope no one minds. But then I'll finish up because then I've got to get myself. Well, I'm going to spend some time on the lounge with my husband because we've got some shows to watch. But I also have to get ready for my videos tomorrow and make sure that they're all done. All right, let's roll it through. All right, so when this comes through, it just cuts out beautifully. And look at that. Isn't that cool? This is the perfect size. All right. I love having a cut and emboss machine. Before we had a cut and emboss machine, we used to have the Big Shot, which was a Sizzix product. And now this cut and emboss machine and the mini cut and emboss machine both are Stampin' Up's product. So that has made it so much easier for us to, all the types of machines have just made it so much easier for us to produce really professional, finished, polished cards. And I sometimes remember we used to make cards without them just fine. I remember the US and Northern America, Canada got their big shots before we did, and we were so jealous looking at what they were able to do with them. And then when it did come out here, it basically changed my business. Totally changed it. It was just such a step forward. Right, I'm going to have this so it just overlaps this ever so slightly. So I want to put my dimensionals sort of down towards the bottom so that I have them overlapping here. All right, just like that. Now, of course, we need bling. Of course. And I'm thinking some good old, well, we have a few choices actually, but there's nothing quite like the iridescent rhinestones when I find them. They are my favorite. There's a new packet, but I think I have an open packet. Let me just grab them. They're the best. Really, really are the best. And they go with everything. I love them. So good. If they get rid of those this year, I will miss them sorely because they have been my #1 most used embellishment this year. There's who knows what's going to come out this year and what the different colours and all sorts of things. Well, there's also iridescent pearls. Those would look nice too. But I was thinking if I could find my rhinestones, that it would be nice to put one maybe in the center of the flower. What do you guys think? Oh, I think I have some sequins too. They might be nice. Oh, here they are. They're on the table right in front of me. Right. All right, so I think maybe I'm deciding whether I would like a big one or a medium-sized one in the center of this flower. I think maybe a medium. Let's try it. I'm going to use my take your pick tool to pick it up. I think that's probably a better size, that medium one. And then a big one down the bottom here. On here, I think. And then a little guy heading up towards the top. And then we need to put it on a white card base and call it a finished card. What do you think? Do we like this? You like the cards? So these are the 2 cards we've made tonight. I'll pop this on a white card base in a second. I just have to cut some more white. Actually, I probably have some sitting here at the side of the desk, but it's under a million things. So I'll grab that in a minute and then I'll post these as finished cards, and I really hope you like them. That's good, guys. So how did we go tonight? Did we have fun? Who's joining me for Craft Along tomorrow? Who wants to be part of that? Because I'm looking forward to seeing you all, anyone who can make it. And if you can't make it, you can watch the replay, okay? So that'll be fun tomorrow to catch up with you. Just remember it's 2 o'clock here tomorrow, and anyone can watch. If you have received a supply pack from me, you can even make it. Actually, let me show you the supply pack, what should have arrived this week, which will give you a little sneaky peek of what might be coming and what the colors look like. Okay, so this is the pack that you received, and you can see there's some embossed vellum in there. There's some beautiful dry brush metallic paper. There's some gold shimmer paper, and there's a soft succulent, lots of soft succulent and black. I love green and black together. They're two colors that I just think always look good. So that's what we're playing around with tomorrow. It's on Facebook and on wherever you happen to be. It's on YouTube. YouTube is where it mostly is. That's my main focus. But if you happen to watch on Facebook, that's okay. That would be on my business page. Okay. All right. So have a fantastic night, guys. I hope that you all enjoy your Friday evening and your Saturday tomorrow. And I'll be back here again tomorrow at 2 for Craft Along, and then again Sunday night at 7:30 like I was tonight. So I'll see you every day for 3 days. You might get sick of me. See you soon, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.